I think one of the reasons why they like to paint so soon is they'll get it done quickly. But it's like there's still a lot of stuff to be done. So I always thought that like flooring and painting would be like the last things to do. I know that the flooring is going to be the last thing here to do because obviously it's like if they would have installed flooring over this. But, painting's expensive in a house like this. So it's like they paint and they get done, then they get paid for paint job.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Really big. So that's after phase as they get down too. Like they watch it pretty now.
Well, like I said, we had the living room over there. This is also like a bonus.
Was this the mallet work?
I think that this actually might have been like a garage, like single car garage or something at one point in time. But
yeah, but you got 2 living rooms now.
I know.
And like I said, it's a big house. What else to do? Pay for it initially? $65,000. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you're putting how much into it? About $45,000, and when kind of all in for about $110, you could probably sell for $140, $150. The minimum I'm gonna do is $145.
Perfect.
If I wanted to try to make more, I would put it on the MLS and try and advertise it for homeowners.
But like $165?
Probably. But at the same token, it's easier to sell to investors.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. There are far fewer issues, things could go wrong.
And usually, when dealing with like renovation, you only renovate one property at a time.
No, a lot of it depends on how many properties I own and have going on. So sometimes I'll have 2 or 3 projects going on all at the same time. And the contractor who's doing this, he's my main guy.
Yeah.
So I can have him. He can handle probably 10 to 15 deals going at any given time. He not only does renovations for me, but he's doing them for other people as well.
So when we go to the 100-unit plus complexes we're going to have to find, 10 of those guys. Or do it one at a time, rent them out.
Yeah, that'll be different because
it'll be fun.
Oh yeah.
So this total time from when you purchased it to when it's going to be finished, what's the average time it takes?
So a $45,000 renovation in general for single families like this, it's a decent sized project. Something like this takes around 30 to 40 days to complete on average. But once we get closer to it being done, I want to start trying to find a buyer for it.
Turnaround time within a month or 2.
Yeah, for completing the renovation. Once I find a buyer, it's going to take on average another 30 days. So I just, I would safely say that I'll be in and out of this deal in 90 days or less.
And is this a no money burr?
Yes.
So no money into it. You check in once a week.
Correct.
And you collect a $20K paycheck.
Yes.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
That's why it's like I need like 5 or 6 of these going at all anytime. So what's the biggest problem from just scaling up this model? There's just not enough of these out in the market.
Finding property like this, it's just the market's different. The market's changed. There are fewer foreclosures out there. There are a lot more people who are doing this. So 15 years ago there were a handful or less of turnkey companies that were doing this type of operation. But obviously since then, there are so many people who are wholesalers. There are so many fix and flips. It's, you have to saturate it. It's saturated a little bit. There's, the competition. There are so many people who are doing this.
Which is why we're going to 100 unit and above, because that's not saturated yet.
It's not. Whenever deals are sent to me, it's like I really have to evaluate them to see if there's a way to squeeze a profit out of them. Even if it's, sometimes even if I have to take a little bit less, I still have to take into account. It's like, okay, if I could do this deal and I'm only making 12 to 15 grand, is it worth it doing it? And the answer is yes.
So how many deals you get coming in per month, how many you turn out?
Look at a lot of property every single month. Even last night, I'm evaluating properties. I'm contacting my appraiser to get an idea of what they think the value is, just to see if my numbers are off. Like I said,
the majority of your job as the active investor is finding and sourcing the deals, because once you lock up the deal, it's pretty
correct. Yes.
So your entire workload is just way the deals.
The most difficult part of what I do is just evaluate the properties and trying to find ones that work that I can make offers on. So to give you an example, I had a gentleman who brought me a property the other day, and they're like, everybody said they want 75 for it. Ran my numbers. And this is kind of where things or kind of lines get blurred a little bit. They're like, this seller wants 75 grand for the house. And then I'm like, I'm not sure. And then I came back with then a day later, he's like, well, they're really interested. They'll take, I think he said like 73 or 74, something like that. So I contacted my appraiser, and my appraiser's like, oh, it's worth between 95 and 105. So I'm estimating on the high side that I still won't have a problem selling it for 105.
Right.
But the problem is it still needs a
Huge arena.
well, no, it's just a moderate renovation.
Okay.
Moderate. Well, I initially came back and said I could do 65,000. Well, they're probably not going to take that. Then in talking with my appraiser again, because I'm also looking at the house across the street of this one from someone else, that one is about 225 square feet larger, and she gave me a value on that one of around 135. So then she came back and said, if you renovated this first one closer to what this one is, you could probably get somewhere around 115 out of it. So now the ARV just shot up 10 grand, which means I can bring my price up. So I responded back and said, hey, I could probably do about 70. So I'm like, we're about 3 grand apart. Am I going to be able to get them to come down 3 grand or not? I'm still waiting to find out. The hardest thing is just getting the deals. That's really it. I mean, whether I'm spending money for some form of marketing to try to find off-market property, or whether I'm just trying to network with all the wholesalers that I have on my list, or that I'm on their list. Thankfully, I'm on a lot of people's lists who send out deals. So I'm either getting them via email, or I'm seeing these people post them on social media. It's just a matter of how quickly can I evaluate a property and try and get it locked up if it works.
Right.
So that's kind of the key. I had a deal that hit my email last night for $89,000, and I said I could do 88. Sounds like a no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
But I get the email that's like, hey, we're still, I didn't get the email like, fantastic, let's move forward, let's lock this in. It was more like, we'll let you know. And I'm just like, come on. It's like, let's do a deal. Let's build a relationship. Let's get started. I mean, if I had to pay an extra grand, I probably would. But at the same time, it's like, why don't they come down a grand?
Right.
So I don't know. I guess it just depends on, am I going to let in theory, I'm going to let $1,000 keep me from getting a deal? Probably not, but
Still emotional stake. It is. All right, so we just met up with Kurt today. Checked out his property.
Also, what did it? Yeah, right now, the market workers.
So our next phase is to follow up with the car dealerships we've already been to. Try to see if we can be some value there, land a deal there, and then we'll start reaching out to new car dealerships. Keep the process going. If you're not subscribed already, click the link below. Love to see you on the next video.